Putin will include the occupied Ukrainian territory in his next round of conscription. Last year, Vladimir Putin said he wanted to increase the number of Russian soldiers and conscripts in the military to 1.5 million. Today, October 1st, autumn conscription begins across most of Russia, including the 4 regions of Ukraine that Moscow illegally annexed a year ago. Following last year's sham referendums, which were recognized by only Syria and North Korea, the Kremlin now considers the regions of Luhansk, Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, which are occupied by Russian troops and controlled by Russian-installed governors, to be part of the Russian Federation territory. As Russia continues to take casualties in Ukraine, the Defense Ministry has announced that Vladimir Putin has no plans to send conscripted personnel from what the Kremlin calls its new regions to fight in the Kremlin's war against Ukraine. The deputy chief of Russia's main organizational and mobilization directorate, Rear Admiral Vladimir Simlyansky, made the following statement last week regarding the new policy. Military personnel undergoing military service upon conscription will not be sent to the points of deployment of units of the armed forces of the Russian Federation in the new regions of the Russian Federation. Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, Kherson and Zaporizhia regions are to Russia as not planning any further mobilization, the official said, despite Putin's order from last year to increase its professional and conscripted combat personnel by more than 30%. Senate with less stuffiness? Senator John Fetterman has criticized Schumer for easing the dress code for him. After Minority Leader Chuck Schumer abolished it, ostensibly to accommodate Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, whose recent working attire has consisted of a hoodie and basketball shorts, the Senate's dress code has drawn quite a bit of interest and response. The only person who looks more awkward in a suit than Fetterman is a bouncer who has been cleaned up for trial. Maybe it's just because he's a big guy. A tight end is missing from a football team somewhere. However, surely a middle ground between a regular tie and tie-dye exists. Those who defend Fetterman say that critics who back ex-President Donald Trump, who has been indicted 4 times and was impeached twice and who appears to have been born dressed in a suit, need to examine their own hypocrisy. They say it doesn't matter what Fetterman wears to work as long as he gets the job done. Zion Clark, his experience disqualifies all of us. It's a good point to make. Do you recall the manufactured outrage over President Obama's tan suit, despite the fact that neither Ronald Reagan nor Mitch McConnell caused a commotion when they wore the same thing? Even so, why does it irritate me? It may also be generational. We all know that Americans have taken casual to a whole new level when compared to their grandparents' generation. Pictures of travelers using airports in the 1960s prove the point. People who put on formal attire for major life events like weddings, funerals, and graduations are increasingly seen as the exception. I still believe that the Chinese, Russians, North Koreans, and Iranians didn't start poking at us until we started wearing pajama pants in public, as if to say to the world, okay, we give up.